We have been here before, you and I. You know the boy in the pumpkin patch. You know the cat who went rowing and found something worse than he bargained for. You know the children who gave up years of their lives for a friend they loved. We've covered the what. Tonight, we're asking something different. Tonight, we're asking why. Why did Charles Schulz, a man who could have ended that special any way he chose, leave a child alone in a cold field with no resolution and no comfort? Why did Jim Davis, the man who gave you a lazy, greedy cat who hates Mondays, decide the ghost pirates needed to actually show up? And why did Ray Bradbury, having spent an entire career writing about the darkness, chose to aim his sharpest thesis directly at 7-year-olds? These were not accidents. These were not oversights. These were choices, and I think it's time we talked about what those choices meant. Welcome back to the study, my morbidly curious fiends. I'm Vincent, and as always, I'm joined by my nephew, Jodie.
I already feel weird, and we haven't even started yet.
Tonight, we are reaching into the velvet darkness of your childhood, specifically the portion your parents believed was perfectly safe, and examining 3 animated specials that were, I assure you, doing something far more significant than entertaining you. Tonight, we are discussing what those specials were actually about.
These specials? Oh man, where do we start?
Oh, we start as all things must, at the beginning. 1966, CBS, a beagle, a security blanket, and a boy whose sincere, unshakable faith in something wonderful is about to be tested and found wanting. You already know this special. You've seen it. We've spoken about it. What you may not have noticed because you were watching a cartoon is what Schulz was telling you about the world. October 27th, 1966, primetime television, American families settled in. It is a Peanut special. Charles Schulz, Vince Guaraldi's piano, the round-headed boy and his beagle. You are not on guard.
It's Peanuts. What's the worst that could happen?
Jodie, it's always the thing you're not guarding against. Now, Linus Van Pelt believes in the great pumpkin. Not ironically, not as a child's whim, with genuine, tender, absolute faith. He writes a letter. He selects the most sincere pumpkin patch he can find. He gives up Halloween night, the candy, the costumes, the warmth, the company of his friends, to wait because he believes.
He actually skips trick-or-treating?
He skips trick-or-treating. He convinces Sally to stay with him.
If you try to hold my hand, I'll slug you.
And he waits. The great pumpkin does not come. Schulz does not soften this. There is no last-minute arrival, no explanation, no lesson wrapped in warmth. Linus wakes up in a cold and an empty pumpkin patch alone. Sally is furious. His friends think he's foolish. And the special simply moves on.
That's it? That's how it ends for him?
That is how it ends for him. And then Charlie Brown, who while trick-or-treating that same evening receives a rock.
I got a rock.
And every house, Jodie, every single house, every other child receives candy. Charlie Brown receives rocks.
I got a rock.
The special offers no explanation. No adult intervenes. No one says that's not right. The world simply gives the round-headed boy rocks and moves on. This is not a Halloween special about Halloween. This is Charles Schulz's entire worldview, delivered in 25 minutes to the children of America. Sincere faith will not protect you. The universe is indifferent to how much you believe, and sometimes, through no fault of your own, even with good intentions, with genuine sincerity, you simply get rocks.
That is deeply grim for a cartoon about a beagle.
Schulz was not trying to comfort children. He was trying to be honest with them. There is, I suspect, a meaningful difference. And in 1966, CBS let him. But if Schultz's message was that faith cannot save you, then what Jim Davis told us in 1985 was considerably more alarming, because Jim Davis told us that the dead are real and they're coming back.
This could be the worst night of your life.
We visited Garfield's Halloween Adventure before. We noted that it was frightening. We noted the ghost pirates. What we did not fully examine is the logic of what Jim Davis constructed and why the logic is the most unsettling thing in the entire special.
If you don't exercise with Binky, you're gonna grow up to be worthless!
I hate you, Binky.
CBS, October 30th. The special was originally titled Garfield in Disguise. You may know it as Garfield's Halloween Adventure. It won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Animated Program. Jim Davis wrote it. Phil Roman directed it.
I love Garfield.
Oh, everybody loves Garfield, Jodie. That is precisely the point.
Hello, Halloween.
We are dealing here with a large, orange, lasagna-obsessed cat who is motivated entirely by greed and food. He tricks Odie into joining him for trick-or-treating so Odie can carry the extra candy. He sings a song about candy. You are not on guard.
Oh, you are definitely not on guard.
And then the rowing. Garfield and Odie cross a river, drawn inexplicably to a dark and abandoned mansion on the opposite bank.
And a spooky old man appears.
A spooky old man appears, and he tells them something specific.
I am about to tell you has never been told to another living soul.
Tonight, once every 100 years, ghost pirates will return to retrieve their buried treasure. Treasure they sealed under the floorboards of this very house with a blood oath. And tonight, he says, is that night.
This could be the worst night of your life.
And then the ghosts come. They actually come. Not as a costume, not as Garfield's imagination, not as a joke with a punchline. The ghost pirates rise from the ground and they advance. And they are translucent, and they are silent, and they are there, and Garfield and Odie flee. The special does not blink. This is what happens.
I remember watching that and not understanding why I felt so scared. It was supposed to be funny.
It was supposed to be funny, and then it wasn't anymore. And you had no defenses because nothing had warned you. The horror is not the ghost. The horror is not the logic. The old man told Garfield the truth. Garfield laughed, and 5 minutes later, the old man was right. Which means, in the world of this cartoon, the supernatural operates on a schedule. It has rules, it makes blood oaths, and it has absolutely no interest in the fact that you are a cartoon cat who just wanted extra candy.
Jim Davis did that to kids?
Jim Davis did that to kids on CBS at 8 o'clock in the evening and won an Emmy for it. How delightful. But if Schulz wounded your faith in the universe and Jim Davis handed you over to ghost pirates, then Ray Bradbury in 1993 decided the children need to understand something considerably more uncomfortable still. They need to understand the price of love. And now, the Halloween tree. We have been here before as well. We have discussed it at some length. In fact, which means you already know the premise. The 4 children, the dying friend, Moon Shroud, Leonard Nimoy.
What fun then! The undiscovered country it is!
Leading them through the history of death. What I did not tell you, what I perhaps could not tell you until we had spent this evening examining Schulz and Davis first, is that Bradbury was not writing a Halloween special at all. He was writing a manual.
A manual for what?
Oh, Jodie, for how to be a human on the one night of the year when that question has a real answer. 1993, Hanna-Barbera, TBS, October 30th. Based on Ray Bradbury's 1972 novel, Bradbury wrote the screenplay himself. He narrated the film himself as well. and the voice of Mr. Moonshroud, the mysterious, ominous figure at the center of this story, was provided by one Leonard Nimoy.
Live long and prosper.
Spock!
Oh, Spock indeed, Jodie. Live long and prosper. Guiding children through the history of death. On Halloween in 1993, it won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Writing in a Children's Program.
Obviously it did.
Now, the premise, for those joining us for the first time, 4 children go to collect their friend Pip for Halloween. Pip is beloved. Pip is the heart of the group. And Pip, they discover, is dying. His spirit is being pulled away on this night of all nights by the terrible, inevitable machinery of death, and Moonshroud appears.
What does Moonshroud want?
Moonshroud wants to show them something. He takes them across time, across continents, through the entire history of Halloween, ancient Egypt, and the fear of death. The Druids from Britain, and the fires of Samhain, the gargoyles of Notre Dame, the Day of the Dead in Mexico, and at every stop, the same question: why do human beings do this? Why do we carve pumpkins? Why do we wear costumes? Why do we light fires on October 31st?
Why do we...
Because we're afraid of the dark. Because the dead walk tonight. Because Halloween was never entertainment. It was armor. Armor built over thousands of years by people who understood that death is real. And that one night a year you must face it directly rather than pretend otherwise. Ray Bradbury told this to children explicitly with Spock. 3, 2, 1, with Spock. And then Moonshroud reveals the truth. Pip is dying, and there's only one way to save him. Each child must give up 1 year of their own life. Not metaphorically. 1 year gone. They are told exactly what this means. They are given time to consider it. They choose without hesitation.
They actually understood what they were agreeing to?
No, they understand completely. And they chose, all 4 of them, without hesitation.
I don't know if that's beautiful or devastating.
It is. I think both simultaneously, Jodie, which is, I suspect, exactly what Bradbury intended. Ray Bradbury believed children were owed the truth, not a version of the truth, not a softened, careful, protective, parental version, the actual truth, that death is real, that love sometimes costs something, that Halloween exists and has always existed because human beings have always needed one night to face the darkness rather than run from it. He wrapped the truth in animation and handed it over to 7-year-olds, and they understood it perfectly.
More than some adults would.
Oh, considerably more. Children, I find, are far braver than we give them credit for. And Bradbury knew that. Schulz knew it. Even Jim Davis in his way knew it. They were not protecting children from the dark. They were introducing them to it properly, with respect. If this is the first time we've met, and I do hope it's not the last, do consider subscribing to Coffin Talk. We are, I assure you, delightful company in the darkness.
We talk about horror stuff, and it's great.
Exquisitely put, Jodie. Exquisitely put. Which brings us rather neatly to the question this entire evening has been building toward. 3 writers, 3 studios, 3 different decades, the same message. What were they really doing? Consider what these specials have in common. Schulz in 1966, Davis 1985, Bradbury 1993. None of them protected their audience. None of them softened the ending. None of them resolved the discomfort with a lesson and a hug and a return to safety. Schulz left Linus in an empty field. Davis left Garfield genuinely terrified with no way home. Bradbury made 4 children choose between their years and their friend's life. They trusted children with the real thing.
And we're all the better for it? The generation that grew up on these?
I believe so, yes. By the time Freddy Krueger arrived on your VHS machine, you had already possessed faith that fails, ghosts that are real, and the price of love. Schulz and Davis and Bradbury had done the preparation. You did not need protecting from horror. You were ready for it. And here's the thing, Jodie. These specials are still there, still airing, still being discovered by children who sit down expecting a cartoon cat in a Halloween costume, who have absolutely no idea what is about to happen to them. Every year somewhere, a child waits in a pumpkin patch. A cat meets ghost pirates, and 4 friends decide without hesitation what love is worth. Every year, a new generation gets a rock.
That's actually kind of perfect.
Yes, I thought so too. Until next time, my dreadful darlings. Pleasant nightmares. Subscribe to Coffin Talk, or the next thing that arrives on your television at 8 o'clock in the evening may not, I assure you, be what you are expecting.